Thank you, Sean. Merci beaucoup. Quel plaisir de vous voir. Gotta love Saskatchewan summers. Gotta love summer in Canada where you can get a little bit of everything wherever you go. But it's been an absolutely amazing opportunity for me these past few days to get out there across the country and meet so many Canadians, but also get to stand with amazing candidates like Sean, Susan, and Caitlin. Let's give them another round of applause. It has really been an intense and challenging past 17 months for Canadians as people have really stepped up to be there for each other. And I think one of the first things I want to say to all of you is thank you. Just look at each other. Look at what we've been able to do. We've been able to continue to fight through this pandemic, to move forward, to keep each other safe. Yes, we faced too many tragedies. We've seen too much sacrifice. But at the same time, we've shown the resilient strength that we know Canadians have, and particularly folks in Saskatchewan have, to be there for each other. So thanks for everything you've done. And even as we were in Ottawa, hunkered down like everyone is across the country, trying to figure out how to best serve Canadians and best help Canadians in this historic time, there were things that kept us going. Stories from communities across the country of the resilience, of the generosity, of the way people stepped up. But there was also something that kept me going in a personal level. And that was hearing directly from Canadians. And I want to take a moment right now to tell you about an extraordinary young woman named Betty. Betty is here with us today with her future Prime Minister t-shirt on. And I have to say, Betty wrote me a letter last November saying how important it was for her that we continue to do everything we can to protect our elders, protect folks who are most vulnerable from COVID-19, particularly her grandparents. And she was asking me to make sure that we get vaccines quickly and enough so we could protect everyone in Canada, but because all of us love our grandparents and we need to protect them too. That was last November, and I was very pleased when within a few weeks we started receiving vaccines in Canada, and because of the incredible work of so many people across the country and in our government, we were able to get enough vaccines in this country now to vaccinate everyone, and we're leading the world in vaccination rates. So Canadians have stepped up, and Canadians are continuing to step up, and we need them to continue to. If people still haven't gotten vaccinated, we need them to get vaccinated. We need you, as you're out there, to keep having those conversations about how we can continue to move forward, how we can continue to convince people to get those vaccines that are going to protect us all. Because yes, Betty's right. We have to protect our elders, our seniors. But you know who else can't get vaccinated yet? Betty can't, because she's only 9. And just as we all step up to protect our elders, as we have over the past many months, adults and grandparents across the country need to get vaccinated to protect Betty and my son Hadrian, who's 7, and all the kids across the country who want to get vaccinated but can't yet. That's what we do as Canadians. We stick up for each other. We're there for each other. And as we get through this pandemic, we have to continue to step up for each other. That was the announcement we made today, that we're going to keep workplaces and schools even safer. We're moving forward on investments in ventilation for small businesses, ventilation for community centers, and for schools right across the country, including here in Saskatchewan. We're also, that's a big piece of keeping people safe, we're also moving forward with 10 days of paid sick leave to make sure that if you catch a cold or if you have a sniffle, you don't have to make a choice between going into work or losing your paycheck. That's something we need to see right across the country. We're moving forward for federally regulated industries. We'll work with the provinces to make sure everyone is protected, because keeping Canadians safe needs to be job one for all of us. That's what motivated us from the very beginning. Because when a crisis hits, all you can do is fall back on your core values, on your reason for being, on the work that you do. And for the first 6 years of this government, we stayed focused on Canadians in so many different ways. Whether it was the first thing we did, which was raising taxes for the wealthiest 1% so we could lower them for the middle class, or investing in the Canada Child Benefit for families that puts hundreds of dollars a month every month, tax-free in the pockets of families who need it, and lifted over 400,000 kids out of poverty. We also stayed strong on fighting ever more ambitiously against climate change, understanding, unlike what some people in some parts of the country might think, there is no longer a choice between what's good for the environment and what's good for the economy. The only way to build good jobs and a strong economy for the future is to fight climate change and protect the environment at the same time. Les gens ici, en Saskatchewan, savent ça. Les gens à travers le pays savent ça. C'est juste les conservateurs, les politiciens conservateurs qui résistent encore à ce niveau-là. Mais nous, on va continuer de tenir fort. On va continuer d'être extrêmement ambitieux pour contrer les changements climatiques. But then, when this pandemic hit, we also had people's backs with supports for workers, supports for businesses, supports for families, because that was what our focus was. We knew the only way to build a strong economy, the only way to recover an economy from the shocks of COVID-19 is to invest in Canadians, to trust in Canadians to be able to rebuild. So when the Conservative Party of Canada continued to tell us that we needed to do less for Canadians, to do less for workers, to do less for seniors and for young people, we knew they just weren't wrong on a moral level. They were wrong on an economic level as well, because the only way to build a strong economy is to make sure the people who make up that economy are strong as well. That's why we invest in Canadians. So whether it comes to ending with this pandemic, where we're going to continue to step up and trust science and encourage people to get vaccinated, where the Conservatives are again moving backwards. They don't want to tell their candidates that they have to get vaccinated. They also don't want to they're going to reverse our commitment to make sure that anyone on a plane or a train gets fully vaccinated, to keep everyone safe, including little girls like Betty who are getting on that plane. We need to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep people safe and at the same time step up for a better future. So it's appalling to think of the fact that Aaron O'Toole has committed that he is going to rip up the deal we signed with the government of Saskatchewan for $10 a day daycare for Saskatchewan families in the coming years. This is an investment not just in supporting families, but in supporting businesses and creating stronger economic growth. These are the things that the Conservatives don't understand when they promise to take Canada back. We know that going back isn't the way to go. We need to move forward for everyone, and that's what we're going to do together. So go knock doors. Go lean in on conversations with Canadians about how important this election is and the choices we're making now that will resonate for months and years and decades to come. This is a pivotal time in the life of our country, and we all get to pull together, to step up, to make our voices heard, and to move forward for everyone. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Merci mes amis.